And you already know what I need you to do. Yes, please, sir. Hit the goddamn bell. I don't know what accent that was, but it worked. They love it. It gets the people going. I wanna rock. Quarantine life.
It's his birthday.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not my birthday.
Tell him happy birthday.
They're watching this video. It's not my birthday anymore.
Oh shit.
Boom.
It's his birthday yesterday.
All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today is Sunday, which means we are back for yet another weekly fragrance rotation video. If you are new to the channel, what we do today is we talk about the fragrances that I wore this week. We talk about the compliment factor. We talk about the lack of compliments and anything else of importance. But most importantly, you comment down below. You let me know what worked for you. Now that you get it, let's get it. As always, we kick off the week on Sunday, and Sunday I was back on my Armani Privé kick. Now, as I stated before, I have a ton of samples from Armani Privé, enough that I could probably break them apart and make 4 bottles. So I've been hesitant to purchase a 4 bottle for that reason. But on Sunday, I did Armani Privé Rose d'Arbre. Now, this thing here is super dope, but I took a chance on this one. So I actually put this one on prior to going to bed, hopped out the shower, dabbed this thing on a few times, and checked for the missus' reaction. And she did enjoy this thing. She said, "Oh, you smell good." And I was like, listen, man, rose fragrances can go wrong or they could go right. And this one definitely went right. So this one smells amazing. I think this is one to have in the collection. And with the sales and deals and steals that are going on these days, you might want to go ahead and pick yourself up a bottle. But Rose d'Arbre on Sunday. And obviously this is a dapper, so I can't tell you the amount of daps. I just went dap crazy. On Monday, I poured out a fragrance that I really enjoyed, but I tend not to talk about as much as I could or should. This one hails from Prada, and this one is Prada Luna Rosa Sport. Yes, the one in the red bottle. Now, the weather was quite nice, although I was confined indoors. It was about 72 degrees, and I went with 4 sprays of this thing. I did get a compliment from the missus and the kiddos. They're like, "You smell nice," but again, I'm the only thing they can smell these days. So sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. But this thing worked for me on Monday, as it got me a quarantine compliment. How many quarantine compliments are you getting indoors? There you have it, man, from the house of Prada, which I really enjoy, man. Prada has a ton of dope fragrances within their lineup. And I may, just because we're quarantined in, go ahead and do the Prada L'Homme. A lot of people have been asking me about that fragrance for a long time. Like, yo, Big Beard B, can you do anything on the Prada L'Hommes? I love the Prada Luna Rosa lineup, so who knows? You got to give the people what they want, though. All right, Prada Luna Rosa Sport. On Tuesday, I dived back into my Armani bag and I pulled out Vetiver de Heaver from Armani Privé. Now, Armani Privé line is amazing. They have a ton of fragrances within their collections and they rotate them in and out. But this one is definitely a spring and summer staple. It hasn't made any of my lists because I don't own a full bottle. I just own a bunch of samples, like a whole bunch of samples. So there we have it, man. This one is really nice. I tell you, I got out of the shower and I just... that's what I did. It looked something like that with this one here, man. So I just put it all over. I'm not sure how many sprays that equated to, but I wore it, and the missus enjoys this thing. Because she likes this, I might buy it. But I feel like this is one that I really like. To me, not 100% similar. Obviously, the note breakdown is different between them, but I feel like this one has some resemblance to Tom Ford, a legend in Tom Ford, which is Rive d'Ombre. And I feel like this one is very reminiscent to it. And since you can't pick that one up anymore, at least for a respectable price, I feel like this one may have to do, man. So there you have it, man. Armani Privé on Tuesday. She enjoyed it, but I got no compliments. There you have it. Now, Wednesday is the day I reserved for testing, and I'm surprised I did not get kicked out of the house on this day, as I tested a ton of ouds. I sprayed like a ton of ouds all over me in preparation for a video that launched already, so hopefully you watched that one out, which was the most wearable ouds within my collection, and I knew what ouds were wearable, so I decided to pull those out. I sprayed all of them on to kind of put them in order, and then I also, just for giggles, sprayed on some of the more non-wearable ouds. And not saying that they aren't wearable, they're just not widely enjoyable by a lot of people, therefore they're not wearable. But I did spray some of them on, and yeah. The crazy part about that is that the family said I smelled good, which is crazy because I had a lot of oud fragrances on. That video in itself had 10 fragrances in it. There you have it, man. Ton of oud for me on Wednesday, just for testing, therefore was not related to any particular fragrance. Next up, we have Thursday, and Thursday I poured out a classic within the collection, and classic because this one took a #1 spot in most complimented fragrances for 2018 unexpectedly. This one hails from Creed, and this one is Creed's Vetiver Geranium. Now, obviously the weather breakdown is a lot different in Florida than it is here, as we don't have a ton of changes in season, and this one could be worn for me there in all year round capacity. I went with 7 sprays of this thing here, and I assumed that this thing was going to be uber powerful. It was projecting, so I did get noticed with it, and I actually left the house that day. I went into the office for a bit, came across 2 people, and they didn't notice it, but I did not get any compliments with it. So there you have it. It's failing me when it once was a legend. But no, man. Listen, that happens time to time where you have a fragrance that is stand out, but it does not garner your compliments. And some days it just works that way, man. There's a lot of people in depression right now, although the people I was with were not depressed at all. They were actually quite joyful, and I enjoyed being around them. So there you have it, man. Creed's Vetiver Geranium. On Friday, I poured out a fragrance that I've never talked about on the channel before, actually because I did not purchase this fragrance. It's been in my collection, I don't know, since November, December, maybe October. I'm not sure. I was supposed to meet Chad from A Gentleman's Journey down in Miami, but we actually missed because I was in my process of moving, which was unexpected, as I canceled going to an event in New York to make sure that I could make it to see him, because I told him I was going to see him first, and I was not able to do either one. He sent me a care package, what he was going to give me in person when we were able to meet. However, I was not there. This one comes from Michael Germain under the Sexual series, and this one is Sugar Daddy. Listen, I know a lot of you out there being sugar daddies right now with your stimulus checks. I urge you to save it. Save it, King. Save it. Listen, man. I sprayed this thing on. This one does smell good. Chances are, if you ever been to a Macy's years ago, then you were probably accosted by a sales representative trying to get you into this Sexual series with a ton of fragrances that they had to offer. They do smell great, but you can obviously pick these things up on the gray market, at least then, for a lot lower cost than you can pick up in a Macy's. So hopefully you spent your money wisely and continue to do so, but this one is a solid fragrance from Michael Germain. I sprayed this thing on with 3 sprays. I did not get any compliments, but this one is a cool fragrance for you sugar daddies out there, all right? If you're looking for sugar babies, throw on a little sugar daddy, it might happen for you. What's those candies called? Sugar daddies? Like a little caramel sticks. And finally, on Saturday, I poured out a fragrance that is newer to my collection. I think. Depending on who you talk to about this fragrance, you're gonna get multiple, I guess, thoughts. Some people say that this fragrance is just repackaged. Some people, including the company, say that this thing is changed and it does smell a tad bit different. This one comes from Paco Rabanne, and this one is Invictus Onyx Collector's Edition. Now, no matter how you look at it, this is a nice, fresh fragrance. I went with 4 sprays on this thing, and the missus said, you smell nice. And I said, oh, thank you, my dear. And then I proceeded to rub her head. So there we have it, man. I wore this one on Saturday. It was 70 degrees with light showers intermittently throughout the day. Sometimes it was, you know, nice and sunny. Birds are chirping, deers are running around. And then next thing you think the tornado's coming. But there you have it, man. That's my week. Again, we're still in this quarantine life. So once the quarantine is done, man, what fragrances are you pulling out? You know, I need to know what are going to be your heavy hitters to make sure that you can garner some compliments, all right? That's what this channel is all about for me, which is why this weekly fragrance rotation video series all came about. Part of the reason why it came about. Wanted to make sure we are getting compliments out there, man. there you have it. As always, I'm your boy, and I cannot go without giving you a winner, can I? Although I did get compliments from the Armani Privé line, but those things are little samples and I do not own bottles. Therefore, they cannot reign victorious, and I have to give it to Paco Rabanne Invictus Onyx Collector's Edition. So that's what I have for you today. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard Beat. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we all back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Yes, please, hit the goddamn bell.